Welcome back to the Crypto 618 channel, and in today's video we're going to take a look at Elk Finance, how to swap BNB for CRO, step-by-step tutorial. But before we get started, if you would like to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. Let's get into it. So if you've got BNB on the Binance Smart Chain and you want to get it over to the CRO network, okay, so this is a completely different network. You can't just swap it in a normal DEX. Normally you need to bridge it, but I'm going to show you how to swap BNB for CRO using Elk Finance. So let's have a quick look. This is Elk Finance, elk.finance. And there's two parts we're going to be using. We're using Swap and Elk Net. So it's very simple. These are the steps. We're going to first of all swap our BNB for Elk, and Elk is the native token on Elk Finance. And then once we swap it, we're going to use the Elk Net, which is like a multi chain swap, and that literally we're going to then swap that Elk. We're going to send that Elk over to the other network. By here you can click on Elk Network. You can see here we're going to send this Elk to the other chain, and we're going to use Cronos as the chain. And then once we send that over, we're then going to come back here and swap the Elk that we have, and we're going to swap it for Cronos. So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing you need to do is, let's say we're on the Binance Smart Chain. So we make sure we connect our wallet up here, and we just make sure that we're connected to the BNB chain. You should see, you may not see Elk in your wallet. I've already done some transactions, so I have Elk, but you should see your wallet balance. And if you don't, you can connect with Metamask, or just make sure you're on the network. So we can just check with Metamask. It says Binance Smart Chain, and we've got some BNB in there. Make sure you've got that. So for when you do these transactions, when you actually go through chains, it does cost, I think last time I checked it was about $3. Normally I use another one. So Elk is one that I have recently been using, but previous to that I've used another chain, another website to do the swapping, and that one is Rubik Exchange. And so you can, I will do another video on Rubik Exchange, but you can come into Rubik Exchange and easily do a swap. You do the same thing. You'll connect with your Smart Chain wallet. You'll come in here, select Binance and select BNB, and then the select token on this side, you will select here we go. Can't see the Cronos network, and that is why we don't use a Rubik Exchange. So maybe in the future they'll add the Cronos network and you'll be able to swap it, but currently you can't. So it's one of my favorite ways to do swapping is on Rubik, but we're not going to be using that because they don't have the Crow network, which is why we're using Elk Finance. So what we'll do is we want about maybe 20, I think about probably $20, I think, over into Cronos. So let's try and do that now. We switch to Elk first, and we need to type in some BNB. So 0.1, that's about $39. 0.05. That's all right. We'll do 0.01. That should be enough. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to swap it. So we click on swap. You may need to enable this swap if you haven't done this before. So then we want to swap our BNB for Elk. You can see how much Elk we're going to get, about 24.9 Elk. So then what we want to do is swap, and then we confirm swap, and then we confirm over in our wallet. And you'll add Elk to Metamask. If you haven't already done this, you just click that and confirm. I've already done it, so I don't need to add it. And then you'll click, well, actually, we'll do it anyway. Click add. See, I've already added it. So click add, that's already in there. And then click close. So you can see I got one pending transaction, and now it's swapped, and now I have 25.44 Elk in there, which is awesome. So now that we have the Elk, we come across to the Elk net. Now just be aware about the transfers. Still in beta, you can only send one transfer at a time. You only can transfer Elk. Maximum is 10,000 Elk. the minimum is 5 minutes between transfers. So don't just follow these rules here. So we've got 25 elk. Let's send over 24 elk, and we're going to send it over to the Cronos chain because we want to have Crow. Now we want a little bit of gas, so you can swap elk for, so 1 elk for gas. Click on that. So we've got 24 elk. So one of those elks is going to be swapped for the actual Cronos itself, and the transfer fee is also 1 elk. So we're going to lose 2 elk in this transfer, only because we're doing a small amount. If we do a large amount, it's going to be less. So all we do now is click on transfer. And then confirm. Now what we'll do is we'll wait for it to transfer. You can see it's transferring 24 elk to the ElkNet. And then it will show down the bottom here, it shows the latest transfers. So it shows that I'm trying to transfer 24 plus a little bit of gas to the Cronos. It shows processing. And then when it's completed, it will go green and it will show that it's completed. And then we'll do the next step. And normally that can take up to 5 minutes. As you can see, the countdown is about 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But generally, it's pretty quick. So this is much easier than bridging, because bridging usually requires, costs a lot more, and there's more complications with bridging. So once that is completed, we'll just wait for that to come through. And then the next step will be swapping. Because what we'll have is on the Cronos network, we're going to have a little bit of gas, which is Crow, and we're going to have the rest of the elk that's transferred over. And then we're going to swap the elk for the token that we want. And we want to get the Crow token, and that's what we're going to swap it to. So, okay, it's completed. So now we go over to swap. Now this time, we're no longer on the BNB chain. We want to swap to the Cronos network. So now we swap it with Metamask. We're now showing Cronos here, and we have 22 elk and 4.9 Crow in our wallet. So if we want to get some more Crow, we have to swap. So let's go here, select a token, select elk. Let's max out the elk. Let's say we want to use all the elk in this here, which is about 3635, and we want to swap it for Crow. Okay, so you've got to allow the use of elk for the first time, and we just click that one. 11 cents for that. Click confirm. We'll wait for that to approve. It's pending currently. Okay, that's done. Now we can do the swap. We click on swap, confirm swap, go over to our wallet, confirm. We can add Crow to our Metamask if we haven't already done so, like that, by clicking add token, and then we click close. You'll see how we've got here where it's approving, still got the pending transaction. And when it's finished, this elk will be lower, here's 0, and now we have 94 Crow in our wallet. How cool is that? So just to recap, and we can check that into Metamask. If we go into Metamask, you can see now we have 94 Crow. Click on assets, you can see 94 Crow and 0 elk. So we've achieved basically we went from BNB to elk, and then we're using the swap function, and then we use the ElkNet to send our elk over, and then we swap it back. So there's three little steps. That is how you can swap over easily. And just all you need to do is just make sure you've got enough BNB, and always tick that swap 1 elk for gas, so you've got a little bit of gas in there, and that's all you need to do. So I think that's all I wanted to cover in this video. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you would like to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. If you would like to support the channel, you can always come along and click this little support the channel button. This will come along to our private Discord, and I invite you to join us there. If you have any questions, I answer them in the chat in Discord. And we also do live streams every week, giveaways, airdrops, whitelist spots. So that's pretty cool. Also got a newsletter, so you just click on here and this will take you to the website crypto618.1. And I put all my videos listed here. You just click on subscribe and you can join up here. It's free. There is a premium content. If you want to access my portfolio updates and private posts, you can do that as well. And yeah, so I think that covers most of it for this video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.